what are you thinking about? What am I doing? Oh, you are thinking I'm doing yogasan, pranayam. Yes, you are right, but we are going to start today's video, and this is all related to today's content. So this is uh, yes, this is the next life processes, and this is respiration. So let's see what is this respiration. Hello, namaskar, and welcome to Gyanyatre Rubraj. So today we are going to start respiration process. Respiration process, it is the breakdown of glucose. You remember glucose? That from nutrition process we obtain the glucose. From plants also the glucose produced, and in animals also glucose produced finally. So that glucose will be breakdown, right, to get the energy. Main function is to get the energy by breaking down this glucose. So respiration is divided into two categories, aerobic and anaerobic. As you can see, an aerobic process of respiration where oxygen involved to break down the glucose. So it is in presence of oxygen when glucose break down, it is known as aerobic respiration. And in absence of oxygen, yes, exactly, in absence of oxygen when glucose break down, it is anaerobic respiration. So generally aerobic respiration is we also called as complete breakdown or complete oxidation, whereas anaerobic is incomplete because completely the glucose doesn't break down, so it is incomplete oxidation, right? So how does this glucose break down inside our cell? Because it is happening inside the cell, remember that. So that's we will see that thing. So glucose when it reaches to the cell, now when it reaches to the cell, it enters into the cytoplasm. Remember, cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, by the process of glycolysis, what will happen? Glyco means glucose and lysis means breakdown. So the glucose will break down and it will form 3 carbon compound, which is pyruvate, and along with that it will release energy. Now it will take a turn whether it will go for aerobic or it will go for anaerobic. So first we will see the aerobic condition. In aerobic condition, this pyruvate, now it will enter into mitochondria. It will enter into mitochondria, and remember, mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. So this mitochondria, when this pyruvate enters, this pyruvate in presence of oxygen inside the mitochondria, it will break down completely and it will form carbon dioxide, and along with that it will release water and the energy. And you know the currency of energy, ATP. Yes, it releases here. So this is aerobic condition. What about anaerobic condition? So let's see two examples of anaerobic condition. In anaerobic condition, this pyruvate will, because in absence of oxygen, oxygen is not there, so it's not happening always in everywhere. So first case we will take in the case of yeast. So in yeast they can't able to take oxygen, so without oxygen, in absence of oxygen, this yeast break down this pyruvate and they form ethanol, that is alcohol, and along with the ethanol it will release carbon dioxide and it will form the energy. So this ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy form, and if you remember, this is called fermentation process. This is fermentation process also, so which is happening inside the yeast. Another example where anaerobic respiration takes place, this is pyruvate when in our muscle cells. So in our muscle cells, what happened? The pyruvate, when they not get the oxygen in proper amount, you can see many sportsmen, they get cramp, right? They do run, they do jogging or whatever, they do a very hard play. So that time they get cramp. This cramp is because of lack of oxygen. So oxygen supply is not remain continuously inside the muscle cell, and because of that the cramp happen. Why? Due to the lack of oxygen, that is absence of oxygen. The pyruvate will convert and it will form lactic acid. Yes, it will form lactic acid too, and it will give energy. Why the muscle cells doesn't wait for the oxygen? Because it has to provide energy. Fastly they have to provide the energy so that the muscle cell will function, right? So here we can see lactic acid and energy, and the cramp is only because of the lactic acid. High amount of lactic acid, when it releases, it causes cramp in the body, right? So this is what respiration. So respiration is where glucose has to be break down in absence or in presence. Clear? Breathing is another perspective of here, which we have seen. Breathing, without breathing, oxygen will not reach, and respiration will not occur. That aerobic respiration. So oxygen has to reach. So we will see breathing, right? Let's see. So you have seen respiration process. Now we will see the breathing process. And breathing process is something intake of oxygen and out of the carbon dioxide, correct? And in previous video, that is in autotrophic nutrition process, we have discussed that how stomata do exchange of gases. So yes, exchange of gases is related here also. This exchange of gases, they release carbon dioxide, they intake carbon dioxide also, they release oxygen also, they take oxygen also. This I have said in the previous video. So here what we find, during daytime when light is there, plants require carbon dioxide for the preparation of glucose, correct? And at night time, no light, no photosynthesis, that means no carbon dioxide required, so they need oxygen to break down this glucose for the energy. Now we will see about the animals. In animals we can find aquatic animals and terrestrial animals. We terrestrial animals, we take oxygen from the atmosphere, right? We take oxygen from the atmosphere. But what about these aquatic animals? Yes, they take oxygen from this water only. So the water is dissolved here, so they take the dissolved oxygen. These organisms, they take the dissolved oxygen, right? So the dissolved oxygen, if they have to take, they need faster breathing process. That's why in them the breathing, the rate of breathing is much faster than the terrestrial one, as they take the dissolved oxygen. Now dissolved means oxygen is found in the H2O, that's why it is dissolved, right? That's it. Now we will see how does the breathing process takes place in the human beings. In human beings we have a specialized organ system, and that is we call respiratory system. So this is human respiratory system. This human respiratory system is responsible for breathing process. Without breathing, respiration is not possible. So this breathing has to be done with a particular system. So this system is there. First we will see the parts of this respiratory system. Nostril, nose and then nostril is the system first, and then it comes to the passage that is called pharynx, right? And then from pharynx, after pharynx, the larynx, which is also known as voice box. And a ring of cartilage is there which doesn't allow the collapsing of the vessel, right? And it is called trachea, right? These rings are present here which is not allow the collapsing, because if air will go in or come out, it may collapse, right? So cartilage, and this is called trachea. Trachea is made up of cartilage. It has rings of cartilage, and then it get divide. When it get divide, this is called bronchi, and then this bronchi, when it enters into the lungs, right? It further divide and it calls bronchioles, and this end up in a balloon-like or sac-like structure which we call alveoli. Now coming to this is structure, clear? Now we will see how the breathing process takes place. Breathing is composed of inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation is taking in of oxygen, exhalation is releasing of carbon dioxide. So first we will see what happens in the respiratory system because of that inhalation takes place. In case of inhalation, first if you see, I have taken the air, inhaled. So when inhaled, first the chest cavity increase. First what happened? Chest cavity increase. The size of the chest cavity is increase. The first step. In the second step, the chest cavity is increased because of the ribs. The rib bone, it's coming outward. So ribs comes outward. And when the ribs comes outward, there is a muscle called diaphragm. The diaphragm got flattened, right? It got flattened. So when it got flattened, it got more area, more space. So flattened diaphragm. And because of this, what happened? It get more surface area, and because of more surface area, the oxygen comes in of the lungs, and when it comes in of the lungs, it reaches to the alveoli. It reaches out to the alveoli. From here, what happens? We will see. Before that, we will complete out the exhalation process. In exhalation process, what happened? It is the release of carbon dioxide. For releasing of carbon dioxide, what happened? First, the chest cavity decrease. Yes, the chest cavity decrease when it comes back to its position. Then ribs moves inward. The ribs muscle moves inward, and diaphragm moves back. Now diaphragm, which will become flattened, it will come back to the position, and because of that, the surface area will decrease, and because of the surface area, the oxygen will push out through the lungs, and then it will come out, right? Like this, the inhalation and exhalation takes place. But what happened in the alveoli? From alveoli, how it goes to the cell, because the oxygen has to reach to the cell. How it goes to the cell, and how carbon dioxide comes in the alveoli, that we will see. If we will just make it a broader alveoli structure, I'm just rubbing this one so that you will be clear how this process happens. So alveoli, if I just draw this structure bigger, the alveoli is surrounded with a blood vessel, right? Surrounding this, blood vessels are there. Blood vessels are there. When oxygen comes here, the blood is transporting this carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is present in the blood. The cells gives to blood, and blood transport it. And this blood, when it comes here, due to the diffusion process, oxygen enters into the blood and carbon dioxide goes into the lungs. Why? In diffusion process, you can see concentration is higher of oxygen here. So it goes from higher concentration to lower concentration. In blood vessel, oxygen concentration is less, whereas carbon dioxide concentration is higher in the blood vessel. That's why it goes to the alveoli, as in alveoli the lower concentration of carbon dioxide is present, and because of that the movement takes place. And we are very big animals, right? We have a huge body. It has to, oxygen has to reach to even a toe also. How it will go? So in blood it directly can't go. Oxygen has to be carried forward by something very fastly, very rigorously. And here that carrier of oxygen we call as respiratory pigment. And can you guess what is this respiratory pigment? The respiratory pigment is nothing but hemoglobin. It is nothing but hemoglobin, right? Hb we can write short, or hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is present in red blood cell. So that is also known as respiratory pigment, right? So this is what happens in the case of breathing, right? So I hope you have understood what breathing and what is respiration. So respiration and breathing, again, respiration and breathing is not same. Respiration is just the breaking down of glucose in absence or in presence of oxygen. Breathing is just inhalation and exhalation, that is taking in of oxygen and releasing of carbon dioxide. This is two different, but they are connected. So with this hope, I think you have understand. So for watching, thank you, and if you liked it, do subscribe, like, and please share it. Thank you. Namaskar.